Aaron Gray. And Bargnani subbed in for Kleza.
And Jameer Nelson is really a talented point guard. Back in 2009, he made the All-Star game, but hasn't maintained that level of play. Last season was his worst in the pros. You wonder why. I think part of it has been injuries recently. Hopefully he'll bounce back.
Rockets leading by 6. Shoots off the step back, and it's Orlando with the rebound.
Just 1 of 4 now to start this third quarter.
Well, you go back to Jameer Nelson's struggles. Sometimes for smaller players who really rely on their quickness, it can be tough. Steve, once you get in your 30s, I'm not saying that was your case, but maybe for Nelson it is.
Well, unfortunately, I couldn't even rely on my quickness in my 20s, Kevin, but that's a different story. But for Nelson, I think the biggest issue is, he's just not real big. He's very short. So when he can't get by a player, he has a tough time shooting over. So the issue is he gets older here in his career.
From deep three-point range, and now just a 1-point Rocket lead.
He's a rarity in the NBA, guys. A big man who can launch it from deep.
Timeout called the Rockets.
Nobody really knew how good the Rockets would be after the Yao Ming era ended, but last year was a good one for them. They were deep. They played around Luis Scola in the post. They had excellent guard play with Kyle Lowry and Goran Dragic. And this was a team that was tough to beat, especially in Houston. They controlled their home floor well.
The Magic making a switch here. Aaron Aflalo is checked in for Darius Morris. Davis comes in for Al Harrington. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Meeks. And Ito Turkoglu is subbed in for Jameer Nelson. The Rockets shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And, that just added to their confidence at the offensive end. I mean, knowing that free throw shooting was something they didn't have to worry about gave them a lot of confidence to play freely.
Klaiza's checked in for Houston. John Lucas comes in for Jeremy Lin. And the Rockets would end up winning 2/3 of their home games, Steve, going 22-11. Just what you want to see from a team rebuilding, Clark, as their core is being put back together, capturing whatever they can at home and then extending it from there.
Exactly. Defending home court, really important. We all know that. And a lot of changes this offseason. It'll be interesting to see how this new look roster stacks up. Not very often, but every now and then a player will throw his teammates under the bus. Happened last year here in Orlando with Dwight Howard.
Clark, you brought up the comments from Dwight Howard from last year. Very much hinted that his teammates were the problem and not him as the reason for the Magic's struggles. Steve, how do you assess that comment?
Well, that's never going to work because now you got a whole team full of guys who feel slighted by their star. They had all kinds of issues a season ago, just with all that drama with Howard, and it showed. I mean, that team was talented and yet bowed out in the first round.
50 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. The Magic trail by 4. Shoots. The quick look, no good that time.
That's a low percentage shot right there.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, he's got to be thinking out there a little better. Make the pass in that situation. Don't force a bad shot.
Can't get it to go. The Magic go the other way with it.
That's flat out embarrassing.
There's 18 seconds left to play here in the third. Lock at 6. Inside. Puts it up. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. He's got 8.
That's right where they wanted to go with the ball on that possession.
Gets it off. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Rockets lead by 6. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily.
25.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has a report on our Sprite uncontainable game. Hi, Doris.
Thanks, Kevin, and it's the Rockets with the uncontainable game award for the offensive stretch they put together. They keep adding points to their lead and have shown no hints of slowing down. This is the kind of game that really opens some eyes around the league.
All right, Doris, thanks. And the run Doris mentioned, guys, that was really a huge game changer here.
No question, Kevin. Probably the pivotal moment in the game so far, and I thought that really set the tone.
You know, one of the things that was interesting to me is you could see the body language of both teams change at that point. Obviously in different directions. Confident and assured on one side and a bit of chin in your chest on the other side.
And for the Magic. Second chance shot, and he races to the bucket for two.
Well, they haven't been getting lit up from outside here. All the points they're giving up are from in close. They've got to offer more resistance.
Yeah, defense has to get better, Clark. They've got to body up, bump somebody, get physical, force the action back out to the perimeter.
Tries a three. The shot misses. Rockets leading by 6. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. That's good.
Carving them up inside there, Kevin. I mean, the defense has been vulnerable in there.
Yeah, that's 3 straight field goals in the paint area. That's really good offense.
A second chance effort. That free throw missing. Amir Johnson's checked in for Jose Calderon. Then for the Magic, Andrew Godlock, who's checked in for Darius Morris. Jody Meeks comes in for Jordan Hill. And Ito Turkoglu is subbed in for Jameer Nelson. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. And that one's good. And it's a 10-point Rocket lead.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, over that break, I listened in on what head coach for the Magic was getting across in the huddle. He got after them and told them to turn up the intensity, saying, we've put ourselves in a corner, and now we've got to fight our way out. Show me what you have. Let's see if we've got...
Thanks a lot, Doris. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Rockets lead by 10.
Man, offensive execution has been the story here. Just playing beautiful basketball.
And guys, you can see it in their advantage in field goal percentage. I mean, you get high-quality shots, you're usually going to shoot well. They're playing outstanding basketball.
Takes the three. And Glenn Davis is going to pick up that foul. That is his first foul of the game. Chris Duhon, he's checked in for Al Harrington. Now a timeout called by Houston. By 10. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Right through the knee for the layup.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for them. At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
And it's Orlando with the rebound.
Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
To the middle. Stolen. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Pulls up. Can't hit. The Magic go the other way with it. Down low. It's tipped. Rebound, Gray.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough. That shot was thrown off by his defense, no doubt about it, Steve. Excellent work there.
Yeah, that's about as close as you can come to blocking a shot without actually doing it.
cinched that one from the post. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Six to shoot. And the shot is good. And the Rockets lead by 10.
And this one is just about over. It's going to be an easy win for them in the end.
Yep, I think they can just about put this one on cruise control for the last few seconds here.
Goes back up. Misses the layup. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Steve, and Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for...
Welcome, everyone. I'm Damon Bruce, and this is the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Saturday night basketball. It's the Utah Jazz going up against Jameer Nelson and the Orlando Magic. And now let's toss it over to Kevin Harlan with the rest of the 2K crew. I'll catch you at the break.
Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. This is Kevin Harlan. The Magic make a quick stop here in front of their Orlando fans. Just one game before heading out. This their first chance this season playing the Jazz.
Well, some called their series last year kind of a measuring stick for which conference was the better one, and they represented their conference pretty well.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, courtesy of State Farm. And for the Magic.
And there's the first bucket of the game.
Yeah, that's a nice tone setter out of the gate.
The three. No good. The Jazz have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far.
They won that game at the offensive end, guys. It almost seemed like they got something out of every possession down the floor.
And Steve, the few times they did come up empty, it didn't really carry over. They never lost their momentum.
Steve just talked about it. These teams were in very similar positions in their respective conference standings last season.
And Kevin, they made their conference look pretty good by taking both of those games.
We're about 1 minute into the first. And there's a whistle that goes on Darius Morris. That is his first foul of the game. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. On defense, Utah.
You know, the Jazz did make the playoffs last year, but were quickly disposed of by the much more veteran and seasoned San Antonio Spurs. Still, just to make the playoffs, a big accomplishment for what was once a rebuilding team. A lot of promise there in Utah, I think.
And the Jazz with possession here after the made shot from Jameer Nelson. 4 on the clock. Fires from 14. Hedo Turkoglu with the rebound. Back to the Jazz. I think you could say the rebuilding process is now complete, or at least settled. Now they can just continue to grow as a group.
Yeah, I agree with that, Kevin. You know, they got swept by the Spurs in that first round, but you know that experience will pay off for Utah, getting that first taste of playoff basketball. And now it's just a matter of continuing to work and allowing the process to kind of evolve.
And Utah has possession. Following the 3 from Jameer Nelson. Takes it from 10. The shot is off. And Orlando will come the other way. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I briefly spoke with Tyrone Corbin. He said they can't get too predictable offensively, going up against an alert and clever defensive ball club. He told me, quote, when a defense knows what's coming next, it becomes pretty easy for them to slow you down. We need to keep them guessing, show them different looks, and that's a challenge for our staff. Kevin, let's see if they get it done.
Thanks for the report, Doris. Guys, what do you do to spread this defense out?
Well, I think you've got to come at them with a variety of offensive looks. Try to keep them guessing, keep their rotations a little bit off rhythm.
As usual, Steve, you're all over it. You've got to keep switching things up on them so they can't get settled into a defensive rhythm or groove. So give them something they don't expect.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Chris Duhon, he's checked in for Darius Morris. Flalo comes in for Andrew Goudlock. Glenn Davis is checked in for Hedo Turkoglu. And Al Harrington subbed in for Jody Meeks. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Darius Morris is checked in for Duhon. Clark comes in for Aaron Aflalo. Ian checked in for Glenn Davis. And it's Hill in for Jameer Nelson. And there's Al Jefferson on the assist from Ryan Anderson.
Well done, finishing that one off.
Trying his luck deep. Rebounded by the Jazz. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Fires for 3, and it's Gordon Hayward with the 3. We've got 22 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Lets it go from deep. A rebound by Jefferson. Fast break, here come the Jazz. Tries it from 9. And he drops it in following the offensive rebound. He's got 6.
He will fight you down low, guys. Really battles in there. He comes up with a lot of second chance buckets.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. It's the Jazz up 4. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at the Jazz performance here, Clark, Steve, what have you been seeing? What have they been doing or not doing?
Now, this team has done a nice job on the glass. I think that's how they've built this lead. They've been very physical, really established a presence in the paint.
Well, they've chased down those balls. As soon as they've hit the iron, they've been chasing them down. That's been a solid effort by them.
And so in the game for the Jazz. Screen by Jefferson. To the paint. Goes right up. An easy 2 points on the layup. He's got 8.
Well, you look at Tyrone Corbin, and, you know, I always knew he'd be a coach. I played with him back in Phoenix, my rookie season with the Suns, and Tyrone was one of those guys who just was always so well prepared, a great teammate, a hard worker. You could see even back then that he had a bright future in coaching.
Orlando making some changes. Darius Morris is checked in for Gaudla. And it's Duhan in for Aaron Aflalo. To the inside. And yes, sir, that one drops. And for Coach Tyrone Corbin, a long journeyman career, certainly. Steve, a lot of times it's not the star players who go on to coaching success, but more those role players who had a chance to observe and really had to work for what they had.
Yeah, when you're not a star in the NBA, every night is a tough one. I mean, you're going up against superior players, and you're just trying to hang on and figure out a way to compete and have success. And I think that really translates well to coaching, because that's what it's about. You're trying to max out your team's potential.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Hi, Kevin. As you know, Kobe Bryant routinely takes and makes some of the toughest shots of any player in the NBA. Some have said that he needs to rely on his big men more to score the ball. But Kobe said, "We always start inside out. If that means I'm going to shoot less, the answer is no. It starts with me. I do what I do. We play off of that. That's not going to change. At the end of the day, I'm a scorer first. I'm going to do what I do." Guys, it's been pretty effective for him.
He always wants to take the big shots, Doris. It's just who he is.
You know, Gordon Hayward's outside shooting has been kind of a mystery. One season he'll be lights out, the next he'll struggle. We saw the same thing for him when he was at Butler. A bit hot and cold. If he gets consistency with that jump shot, watch out.
You saw him in the Final Four a couple times. Yep. And we've got a moment now to look at the highest scoring teams in the NBA from last season. The fourth spot held by the Jazz.
I just loved how this team attacked their opponents. I mean, you could see their confidence growing as they continue to put up points on the board.
Earl Clark's checked in for Orlando. Harrington comes in for Hedo Turkoglu. And Steve, going back to Hayward, his three-point shooting alternates year by year, beginning in 2009 as a rookie and ending this past season up and down and all over the place. It's tough, at least right now, for him to get that consistency with that long shot.
Yeah, he needs to be more consistent, for sure, Kevin. But remember, when he came into the NBA out of Butler, shooting was really not his game. He was more of a ball handler and a passer. But shooting is something that every player can improve upon. When you practice, and as you go on in your career, generally you get better and better.
For the Orlando Magic, they come into this one following a loss to the Rockets in Houston. .131 left in the first half of basketball. Takes the 13-footer. The shot is off. And it's the Magic taking it the other way. And out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession.
Well, let's take a look at where Orlando ended up, Kevin, rank-wise in the league last year. 3rd in three-point field goal percentage. 13th in rebounding. And as for turnovers, some work to be done here. Top 2/3 of the league. Not good, but not terrible either. Improvement necessary.
And how about the spacing that we saw from this team last year, Clark? You mentioned the three-point shooting in the top 5 in terms of field goal percentage from long range. And I think it was a direct result of great unselfish play. And it helps when you can employ that inside-out game. You know, attack a team in the paint and then kick it out for that three-point shot.
They shoot again. Buries the jump shot. 6 points for him.
Well, you're not going to get a more high-quality look than that. Terrific offensive rebound there.
From downtown, and that's good. Jody Meeks for 3.
9 straight points for them off of wide-open looks from deep. Something has to change for this team.
Yeah, they're just giving up too many easy shots out there. They've got to close out harder, get a hand up, make him put it on the floor.
Inside to Jefferson, and that is good. And the Jazz lead by 6.
Again, they attack the hoop from the lane, and it's been really good to them.
Yeah, they're getting whatever they want down there. That's 4 of their last 5 buckets coming in the paint area.
Pulls it up. He shoots again. Blocked. And that concludes the first half. Jazz lead.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We're in the early stages of what promises to be the Charlotte Bobcat.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. What can you say? Al Jefferson, an impressive effort here today.
That's one thing to get to the rim, and it's another to finish when you get there. I mean, he's done both so far.
He's done a great job of being able to complete plays at the rim, finishing drives nicely.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for Orlando. Jazz passing it around. Six on the shot clock. A second chance effort. And he cruises to the hoop for the layup.
I think the lead they've built here, guys, is in large part due to what they've done on the boards.
Absolutely. I mean, they have a plus 10 advantage in rebounds, and they've been in total control of the backboard.
Can't get it to fall.
That's kind of a shocker. The defense was there, but it wasn't right in his face. Kind of out of character for him to miss those.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. They set the pick. Jumper off the screen. Again, the Jazz score.
Nice teamwork there. The pick, freeing up his teammate.
Goes up on the wing. Goes back up. And the layup is up and in.
I like it. He could have gone for the forced finish, but opted instead for kind of a nice smooth finger roll. I like it.
And the Jazz call time here.
Yeah, he definitely saw some things that were not working for them out there. And now he's going to make some adjustments.
I'm not sure what it was, but he clearly wanted something to change out there.
Mo Williams is checked in for the Jazz. Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. And it's blocked. And up the court come the Magic on the break. No good. For the Orlando Magic, they come into this one following a loss to the Rockets. From down in the low post, it goes. And the Jazz lead by 8.
You know, Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
Hakeem Moore, he's checked in for Jason Smith. Magic have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Stolen. Fast break, here come the Jazz. That is good. And it's a 10-point Jazz lead. .144 left to play here in the third. Another miss by Orlando.
Boy, they've been all over the glass. Big advantage in the rebound totals.
Yeah, that's really carried them in this one, guys. I mean, those one-and-dones have really set a nice tone and let them establish this lead.
From deep. But they recover it. Tries again. It's Mo Williams with the rebound. Jazz leading by 10. And even 3-on-3 break. Lets a floater go. And it's good on the way in. 8 points for him.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
The Jazz making a switch here. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Spins to the middle. Rebound by the Magic.
Great job defending the hoop there.
So important to have good presence defensively inside.
A quick look, no good that time.
I can't figure out, guys, what's going on with him this quarter. I mean, he hasn't gotten one shot to drop.
That's good.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
32 seconds left here in the third quarter. And the first shot of the night for him, no good. On offense, here are the Jazz. They've got a 12-2 run in progress. Can't get it to go. The Magic trail by 14. Whoops, they pick off the pass. Six points for him.
I'm sure they'd like to get more shots like that one.
Beyond the arc. Shot is off.
Offense seems completely out of sync here. They're on the wrong end of a big run.
And then at the other end, it's been...
And as we end the third quarter, a double. Digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Jazz out in front, up by 16. 2K Sports back in a moment from the Amway Center. As the fourth quarter gets going, let's swing it over to Doris Burke to find out who's had the Sprite uncontainable game. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. We've seen an uncontainable game from Al Jefferson. He has come off the bench and stepped in when they needed it most, providing several key plays for his team. I'm sure we'll see more of him in the fourth.
Great, Doris. Thanks. And when you look at that Tech guys coming from one of your reserves, he really fit that definition here tonight.
X factor in this game. You know, to be honest, I don't think they were ready for him defensively. It seemed like they just didn't have a plan on how to guard him.
Well, you know, one of the things about having a guy like him come off the bench is that it gives you a burst. He's a power surge, and he creates immediate matchup problems, especially when he gets hot.
So on the floor for Utah. And it's going to be a 3-second call. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Utah Jazz. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home.
And, you know, for the Pacers, that's a game that they would really like to win.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Darius Morris is checked in for Duhon. Andrew Godluck comes in for Aaron Aflalo. And Ito Turkoglu is subbed in for Glenn Davis. Knocks it loose. We played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. And the shot is good.
It's been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I was able to listen in on what Tyrone Corbin was going over with his team. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Nelson with another miss.
He just can't get a good feel for his shot at this point. That's one of the reasons they're losing.
Boy, this fella can rise up there with the best of them.
Just a crazy finish, guys.
He's one of the few players with the athleticism to pull that off.
The Sprite replay really gave you a good look at the action. Sinks the triple.
He's going to take that shot every time if he has that much room to get it off.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Jazz passing it around. Just 5 on the clock. Second shot opportunity. It's hauled in by the Magic.
That shot was thrown off by his defense, no doubt about it, Steve. Excellent work there.
Yeah, that's about as close as you can come to blocking a shot without actually doing it.
Jazz leading by 15. To the middle. Dumps it down.
And that should do it. This is an insurmountable lead.
Yep, there's too little time left, too big a deficit to overcome. This one's over.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 17. .129 left to play here in the fourth. Entirely new group here. Chris Duhon, he's checked in for Darius Morris. Flalo comes in for Andrew Goudlock. Ian checked in for Jameer Nelson. And it's Jody Meeks in for Al Harrington. That'll be a 5-second call.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd love to see the return of the NBA to Seattle. The Sonics, obviously a great franchise in their time there. They eventually moved to Oklahoma City, but it sure would be nice to see a team back in Seattle sooner or later.
Roger Mason has checked in for the Jazz.